Welcome along, everyone. What was it like, that experience, jumping into your first race?
It's been my life ever since I can remember.
Look, it really was unbelievable.
I think it's awesome.
Just go out there and give it your all every time. And
when you're young and you get in your old man super stock and you wreck it, I mean, it's pretty cool.
Craig Booker with the big smile. He is the voice that's behind what you get to hear every Sunday night.
Give it the hoot, Daddy. Look at that field. Doesn't it look fantastic?
Welcome along, everyone, to your Wednesday Motorsport Speedway Fix. Welcome to In the Kokpit with KINSER, my good friend. Bumper Run, Craig Booker's with us on this cold, chilly night where I am anyway. We had fog around the region, and I think it's going to be another cold one tonight. So hopefully you're wrapping up, look after yourselves, and keep it nice and warm wherever you may be watching. Good to have you all on board, joining the show that's going to continue right through the off-season. As we all are aware, most of the speedway, if not nearly every track's shut down for the off-season, and people do what they need to do during the winter moments. But Booker's with me right now. Hey, Books, how are you?
Oh, I'm pretty good, mate. Like you say, the temperature has dropped. I was just organising heaters for my camper today, making sure that when I get in there, we're nice and warm.
Yep.
But yeah, it's the season's done and dusted, mate. It's all ready to go now for the prize givings around the country, and we're pretty privileged and lucky enough, or being told, that we have to attend Huntleys. So we're going to go to the Huntley prize giving and on the 10th, I think it is. So we're excited about that, mate. Excited about that to go out there and be a part of that. But yeah, it's things are looking up, mate. We're doing well. We're having fun. Even though the season's over, we're still having fun, bud. And boy, what have we got coming up soon, mate? And you know, the post we put up the other day about our E-Series and the interest and influx of real drivers that that are putting their name down to sign up. We've got limited spots available, so we have to go through all those drivers and pick out a few. But man, it's going to be an exciting series, mate. And the bump and run on Sunday nights, we're back with Booker with the commentary. Don't know how good it'll be. I've had a bit of a break from it. There might be a couple of F-bombs accidentally slipped in there, and I'll cop it from a few. But mate, I'm excited. I'm excited for it, eh?
Yeah, mate. You know, going back to the 10th of June, we were literally told when we were at the Polo Cranes Superstock Team's invitation. We were told by one Red Wooten we had no choice in the matter, mate. You guys had caught yourself and did caught it with them earlier. I come waltzing on in about so many minutes later, and then you told me, because your mates are going to be there. I bloody told them. So, yeah. I'm looking forward to it, you know, because, hey, they looked after us during the season. You know, it's had its ups and downs, weather and all this type of stuff. We know that, but, you know, we had some big meetings there with the Apollo Cranes, New Zealand Superstock champs eventually, and then the Garage 16 Modified champs we're a part of. Then, of course, to wrap it up with the Pollock crew and the team's invitation, you know, then we had the auction night. So just a heads up in regards to the auction fundraiser, thank you once again to every single person who dug deep into their wallets, their pockets, and gave generously either online or at the club rooms. Really appreciate it. And looks like we've got 6 months before the next one may rock around in November 23.
It's going to be an event, mate, in itself, isn't it? I mean, you're going to have the Friday night with us in the club rooms with the auction and the drivers, some of the drivers. I think the next one, I think you'll probably find more drivers will turn up because, mate, it was a hell of a night and it was fun and there was laughs. It was just a good atmosphere. So you're going to start your weekend off with this auction. And then the following day, you're going to go and watch some amazing teams races, you know. It's going to be an epic weekend there at Huntley for that next season. And I can't wait for the next one, mate. But like you say, we're going to have to roll it around. I see there's a few come in already, Kins. We got Noel Phipps is here. Of course, he's here. He's come to see his boys interview. We got old Quazzy there as well. Wayne Otten, Murray Goodley. Yeah, I'll give it some hoot nannies, mate.
With a few hootenannies there as well. Thomas Jr. Hootenui. Hey, my bros. Hey, good to have you on board watching. Deacon Butcher. Hey, boys. Yeah. Do you have the dates for me? Tanya's talking to you. Is that for you, mate, or what's that dates?
Do you have the dates for me? Oh, is that probably for next year's teams event? I would say we haven't even been told the dates for that yet ourselves, so we will let that out when it happens because we're going to have to start doing the build up for that auction as well. So, but yeah, it's going to be. I think it's going to be an epic weekend, mate, and I think these weekends coming up with these real drivers joining this E-Series with us. And tonight we're talking with our mate Dirt and our cameraman who's seen us. He helps us with the camera. And the creator of this online mod and sim racing. I mean, it's awesome going to get to talk to him. And we've also got young Fipsy from Australia there as well, coming over to talk to us about he's defending his, is it this weekend, Kins? I think he's defending his title, is it?
Yeah, he'll tell us more, mate.
Yeah.
Well, we better bring him because we've got another guest who snuck in there.
We've got another one that's going to come probably. It looks like we're going to have a visit from Pete Rees tonight as well, so that's pretty exciting. That's cool. And we may hear from Cody Mack as well, one of the winners of the teams up there, the Auckland team. So we'll start quickly and we'll bring in Fipsy, shall we?
Yeah, Scotty Phipps, bring him on, mate. Let's have a chat with him. G'day, mate.
G'day, boys.
How are you?
Good, bro. Good.
Yeah, I know I get a bit of an English thing going on here now. You start saying cousin, bro. We'll got that Aussie
we'll
accent.
get you back talking like a Kiwi again, mate.
How long you been in Oz, mate? How long you been over in the ditch?
Coming up 13 years, I think.
Oh,
Wow.
Mate,
Yep. We left. I left there 2010. End of 2010, Boxing Day. I packed up and left. Been here ever since.
Yeah. And when did you get back behind the race wheel, bro? It wasn't straight away when you shifted over there. This has only just recently happened for you, eh?
Yeah. We got back in behind the wheel last January. Got offered a car, which is our current One Queensland car that we've got now. So we got offered to drive that from a good mate there. So, we jumped in that and, it's pretty much just escalated straight from there. I think it only took 2 meetings and then we owned the car.
Hard working, man, 7 hours a day, but you've kind of pulled that back a bit just to have some life back with you as well. Hey, let's talk about the class you race for those who have jumped on, don't really understand what you're racing over there. What's the whole deal, mate?
Yeah, so we're running Queensland stock cars. We're starting migrating into the NZ stock car side of things now. Before they were running the sort of the same as what the Pommies were running.
Okay.
The F2s, back 253s, running 253s, and the little 5 litres back then. But yeah, we're running anything up to a 6 litre, and most of everyone's. I mean, the field's pretty into the barra side of stuff at the moment. I think there's only maybe 5 of us that possibly are running the LSs now. So we've got one LS2 that's running around there, the 6 litre. The rest of us have all got the LS1s. So us personally, we're running the LS1 with a HQ 3-speed behind it, shortened up like we do back home, and running a Ford 9-inch behind it. The only thing is we're allowed to run the Hoosiers on it. So they normally run the Hoosier chain type pattern for everyone that knows them.
Yeah.
That they run on the right rears, obviously, of the super stocks back home. So they normally run them all around. This year we've changed a little bit and we've gone to running the same sort of setup that they run on the super stocks back home now with the dirt balls on the left rear. Just trying to change it up and, see how things go.
How's the class being brought on with the Australian fans? You know, I know a lot of the Aussies are so used to their sedans, their open wheel stuff, the sprinters, everything. How's the stock car class been, looked at from the Aussie fans that come and watch you guys?
Yeah, it's a hard one to tackle, to be honest with you. Most of them all are open wheel, sedan. So pretty much what we call our street stocks back home. They've got 4 or 5 different classes of them.
Yeah.
We got all of them. Obviously, your sprint cars, your midgets, which they call speed cars over here, your winglesses, all of them. Dirt modifieds, which is pretty much a super saloon, but the cockpit's in the middle. But yeah, it's predominantly an open wheel class. series over here, you know. But we're slowly getting there. We've started migrating into New South Wales now. So we've got a couple of cars down there, and we're trying to get some more cars down there as well. There is talks of a couple of people over in WA and Perth that are building a couple of cars over there as well. And there is talks that we've got a couple of people in Melbourne that are looking at building some cars as well. So we're slowly getting there. It's gone from having maybe 6, 7, 8 cars, and now we're constantly growing.
Awesome.
Us as a committee, we're trying real hard just to get the numbers up. Our only problem over here is the way that they look at our class is because we're in the B grade division, we're only limited to 20 cars per heat. So yeah, that's at the moment, I think off the top of my head, I think we're looking at about 18, 19 cars for next season. So it's a big step from what we've had probably the last 2 to 3 seasons where we've only had maybe 8, 9 cars, you know. So we're making some big leaps with this class at the moment. So that's a good thing for us.
Awesome, mate. You're going to ask something, Books?
Yeah, I was just going to say, how do the rules differ to over here in New Zealand, mate? Like in that class, can you wind someone off, or what's the deal?
Yeah, so it's all pretty much the same as back home, obviously. The only difference that we've got here is if we're going to put someone off the wall, we have to break contact before they hit the wall. Obviously, with the walls over here, they're not as strong as obviously what we're used to back home. So yeah, that's only pretty much the only difference that we've got compared to home. So like if you go to put someone off into the wall, break contact, and as soon as they hit the wall, you can just go again.
Okay.
So yeah, that's in a way, I guess over here, it just makes it a bit safer for everyone. It's nothing like back home, I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. Let's come back home, Fipsy. Let's come back home. So what's your background with motorsports and everything from back home prior to going to Aussie and, of course, getting this deal and the 1Q you got on your shirt, obviously. What was your background before getting over the ditch here, bro, what motorsport-wise?
So back when I was 6, Dad, obviously Dad, Noel Phipps, he owned Amiga go-karts in One Tree Hill. So yeah, we got into go-karts. My 2 brothers, Ant and Wayne, they were already in it, and Dad and Mum were already in it. So I jumped into that, and I did it up until we were about 12.
Yeah.
Until Dad was like, let's go speedway racing, and that's when we got into the mini stocks. So we built a brand new car there. We did 2 seasons of mini stocks, and they were 2 very, very successful seasons there. The first season we took away as much as we could. I think at the end of the year, I think we walked away with about 15 trophies, Auckland titles, Waikato titles, all of those things. And then the second year we did the same. Built another brand new car and put my sister in my other car. Built another brand new car. We had a car of 5 back in our second year. So we had Ricky Corbin, myself, Carl Campbell, my sister, and Cameron Clout with us back in those days. In our second season, so we did that, represented New Zealand in the invitation series where we had Aussie come over, and we won that. We won the New Zealand versus Aussie team. We won that one with the New Zealand team, and then we also won the Australasian titles in our final year. And then, our season got cut short there when we sold the car. And then we went TQ racing for a season. Yeah. And that just was not my thing. We were fast, but it just wasn't my thing.
Yeah.
We went to certain tracks and we were fast at certain tracks. Then we weren't fast at other tracks. And, so we got out of that. Dad started. I had probably maybe 2 seasons off. Yeah. And then Dad and Wayne and Ant and Mum started building new cars. So we built Mum a car, and then we started building the 2 brothers a car, and I got back into it then and shared a drive with Mum Mum used to do the meetings back home. I'd do the big meetings back home in Auckland.
Who was the faster driver, mate? You or Mum?
I have to give it to Mum.
Mum's watching, bro. Mum's actually watching.
I give it to Mum. I give it to Mum.
Yeah.
Nah. So So we did that. I shared the car. I used to travel out and down to Waikato and race out of Huntly with Mum. Mum used to do the little meetings up here, up at Waikaraka Park. I used to do the big meetings. And then I did that. We did that, I think, for about 4.
That was in the stock car, eh, Scotty?
Yes, and a standard stock. Yep. So I think off the top of my head, I think we built 5 cars.
Noel's watching, mate. He'll be clarifying all this stuff and just giving us the updates. And Mum says hello. Hello, my son. Jackie says hello. Hey, just in regards to like Noel said, the Wilson Aussie can't take the hits. So how many tracks do you run at? How does this all work? Because we know how it works here in New Zealand. How does it work for you?
So this season's made it pretty hard, obviously. If most people aren't aware, Brisbane have got a track, and that's Archerfield Speedway. That's been going for a long time, and now the owners of that have decided to sell up, and it's actually been sold. And the people that have purchased it are using it for an industrial site now. So that's made it a little bit harder for us. Obviously, the promoter that runs out of Archerfield, he's predominantly open wheel, and that's his thing. We ran there last season. We did 1 meeting. We actually had 3 meetings organised there last season. We only did 1, and then the rest were rained out. So it's been pretty hard for us this season where there's been a lot of travel. So we travel. We've got a track about an hour down the road at Gaddon, and that's a showground track. So a granite track, and there's not much contact around there either, just because of the walls of the easiest term I can say it is just the barriers on the road, on the highways. Yeah, it's pretty much the walls and just a fence put on top of it. So we go into New South Wales. We've got Lismore and Grafton. So Lismore's about an hour and a half down the road for us, and then Grafton's another hour past there. And then we've got Maryborough, which is where we're having our Queensland titles this weekend. And that's about 2 hours up the road, 2.5. And then we go up to Bundaberg, up at Carina Speedway. And we're slowly working our way. We're trying to get up to Toowoomba. We're trying to get out to Kingaroy. They're pretty keen to get us out there. So we're slowly moving around.
All right.
The hard part is just the travel over here, unfortunately.
Hardest part of it all. Like everything you do these days, especially here in our country, you're going to have to travel some of these big distances. Some of the drivers that we've interviewed on our show, we were blown away when they were traveling like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 hours. And when you got to deal with some of the strange weather patterns that were being affected, this speedway season has just been crazy. I see Cass has put a comment here. Mum was going to race when she was over here as well. Contact JP Race Cars and they can help out as well. So heaps going on there for anyone over in Aussie. Loz, we caught up with them at the Palmy Teams recently from Oz. Talking about the guys in Melbourne building stock cars. So heaps going on for you, mate. I tell you what would be awesome. One day, I bet you'd put your hand up if they were to bring an Australian team out, like we have the Great Britain Lions here at Palmy. You imagine an Australian team come up, mate. I guarantee you'll be one of the first to put your hands up if you got supplied cars to do teams. That'll be a bit of you.
Sure. Yep. Yeah. It's always been a big thing of mine. I've always wanted to give it a go. We're starting to get some contact back up over here. It's mainly been flag racing, but we're trying to get there. We started bringing the contact back. I gave it a shot when I was at Bundaberg a couple of months ago. So it's slowly coming back. We've got a few people coming, some new cars coming through, some tougher cars. I'm running a flat chassis at the moment, and that's just that thing. So.
I can see Mito sitting there going, the old flatty. Hey, Box said we Mito.
This one of mine's probably, I think we worked it out. It's about 12, 13 years old.
Okay. Do they have a restriction
so
on
it's had a big makeover.
Yeah.
Obviously, Quasi, Richard, from B&B Steel Fabrication, he's one of my big sponsors. And we pretty much stripped it back to chassis rails last off season. And we only had a short off season last year, so it was only 2 months. in between the end of the season to the start of the new season. So, yeah, me and Richard, we're just flat out. I can't thank him enough for what we've done to this car, and it's changed it definitely. It's just the little things in it that no one really knows about or has the knowledge that obviously myself has with Dad. So it's just the little things that helped us out, and liaison obviously with Dad back home and do this, do that. So that makes it a little bit easier, especially not having him here. But hey, it is what it is. We're enjoying it, being successful at the same time. But yeah, it's been a real up and down season for us. That's for sure.
Wicked, right? Wicked. Booker, you going to ask something about restrictions?
Is the restriction? Is it pretty similar to your chassis builds as what they are over here? You know, like could you like, for example, take a Rees and stick it straight on the track over there?
Yeah. So the only difference that we've got over here compared to back home, which we're slowly trying to migrate those rules into what we're running over here. The only difference is, I think back home, off the top of my head, we're running 350 bumper heights back home. 350 mil bumper heights, I think.
Yeah, that's correct. Not in the background, mate. That's correct.
Yeah. So, and then over here, we run 450 bumper heights.
Oh. So
it's just 100 mil higher. But see, we run on a lot of banked tracks around here as well. So, you know, 90% of the tracks that we go to are all banked.
Similar speeds,
we're
mate.
slowly walking away.
Yeah, you're getting similar speeds, you know, compared to back here in New Zealand, or is it a bit quicker, or with the bank trades?
So we're running a stock standard LS1.
Oh, okay.
Nothing special about it. My tuner Luke from Tune by Luke, he's actually a Kiwi fella from back in Palmy. He just puts a tune into my computer, and that's it. We pretty much run it that way. There is a few people over here that will, you know, they're running the 550 horse LS2 and LS1. But hey, look, we're pretty successful with the stock standard LS1. So until we start struggling and keeping up and can't stay out the front, we'll just keep with the package we've got. It's been a pretty successful package since we bought the car. So we'll just stay there and see how we go.
Yeah, mate. Standard stock speeds KINSER. Oh, yeah. Okay. Standard stock speeds. All right. So that's pretty cool. Oh, that's awesome, bro.
So how KINSER, isn't it? Standard stock speeds over here.
Hard out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're getting quicker and quicker, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. You know, they really are. Higher bumper heights. Yeah. Oh, that's cool, mate. Good luck with this weekend, eh? You know, you're doing the country proud. Your family's proud back here watching, and people buy all the comments on our chat at the moment going on through. So, you know, wish you all the best. And I know it would be good for the family to be there, but they'll be heading somewhere down the line, down towards Booker, watching the kart racing and everything like that, because the family are heavily involved with the motorsport, and young Ashton's going good at the moment. So we wish you all the best, bro, and thanks for joining us tonight, eh?
Yeah, no worries. Awesome.
I just got one question before you leave, Scotty.
Yep.
How tough was the old man on you making you drive correctly when you first started, mate?
No, I think I can pretty much just jump in it and drive it. He knows pretty much what I'm good at and what I'm not at. And yeah, our first outing in it, we went 4 from 4. So yeah, it's just trying to get our head around the new car. Dad changed a lot in the car when he come over.
Yeah.
For a holiday. So yeah, some stuff that needed to be changed. He changed that for us. So it's definitely made the car a lot easier for us to drive. But yeah, we've had a pretty ordinary up and down season. We've done 2 motors this year. So yeah, that's pretty hard on us. But hey, we'll give it a good red hot crack this weekend and see if we can go back to back. I know Dad will be sitting on the phone, do this, do that. So I'm pretty lucky to be able to have him do that. So right. He's right behind us.
Yeah, I know he's right behind you because Dad's actually put in there 5 from 5 this weekend, Scotty. We've seen some of the videos of you racing. I've seen it online as well. And I'll tell you what, you've won a fair few. Travis is watching. I'll be chasing your ass. Yeah, you're right, Wayne. It is a bit cold, mate. My old arthritis is kicking in. No, it's not, mate, but it's just a bit bloody cold. Thomas Jr. Hudinui, bro. You're my Aussie hero, so wishing you all the best. Mum's watching, Jackie. He was tougher when he came to cleaning the mini stock, Scotty? Mate, good luck, Do us proud out there, and good to have a chat with you. Thanks for popping in to join us,
No worries. Thanks, boys. Enjoyed it.
Cheers, Scotty.
Thank
Take
you.
care, mate.
Thanks, mate. Hey, now, if you want to follow Scotty on Facebook, it's Phipps Motorsport. That's PHIPPS Motorsport, and you can follow Scotty's progress. He posts all his videos up and stuff all to that page, so people can do that. So let's quickly bring in our man Dirt to talk about our online stuff quickly, and we got Pete Rees sitting in the background there too, waiting to come in. So we'll bring in Dirt first, mate. How are you?
Hey boys, how you going?
Good, good. You remember old Pipsy back in the days, eh? Used to race around online with us and have some fun with his
mate.
brothers, eh? And
Yeah,
Dad,
yeah.
actually. And
Yeah, I was giving him a bit of stick before because of how much of an Aussie twang he's got in his accent now.
So-
yeah, well, actually, Rob Miller put a comment in here and go, bloody smoking, mate. No, it's a typical Aussie answer. Bloody smoking.
So for those that don't know, Dirt NZ, Steve Emmett here is our good friend and helps us with the cameraman when he's about, and puts me up in Hamilton, and is the creator of the online stock cars you see that people race. And it all started back, I don't even know what date it was, Dirt, but back when it was stock car, even before stock car heat. So, and you sold the game
TRSC,
Teams
mate.
Champs on CDs there at the beginning, mate.
Oh yeah, that was stock car heat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was stock car heat. Sold a few copies that weekend and paid for the trip that weekend. So that was all good. But that was probably a few years after we'd been going in DTRSC.
Yeah, yeah. Because you just recently went, was it a video or live something with the OG game back in the day? Was that a little while
Yeah.
back? A few months
we
ago? I
did
thought
that,
you did.
Yeah, when Brooks was
Yeah,
here.
that's
Yeah.
right. I remember that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, so I still got all that. I've still got all that on file. Thanks to our man Mintz, Mark Eagle, and that sent those up, and I think Tank found them as well. I found copies of them on CD when he was cleaning up one day. So yeah, no, it's pretty cool to have all those old files back again. To be honest.
Yeah. Going forward, mates, the influx of what we've seen, inviting real life drivers to the next E-Series coming up, our super stocks. Holy hell, what an impact this has been from real life drivers. To be honest with you, when I've seen some of the messages coming through, I didn't realise there was that many real life drivers who had bloody simulators, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, the stocky boys through the years have always had strong numbers, really, when it comes to sim racing. And like how many of them sort of started in sim racing and have carried on through their careers, in real life sort of thing. And yeah, I mean, it's like you say, the interest has been pretty overwhelming.
What?
And I mean, we've only had the post up for now 2 days, 3 days or something, and we're already at the point where we're going to have to go through and select which ones we take on board, because in the first day we sort of out the available spots were gone essentially, so Kieran.
Oh, yeah. So what's it like for you, mate? When we talk about how back in the day there's been quite a few stock car drivers and super stock drivers that have driven the mods that you made and started. And how does it make you feel when you hear some of these guys say that racing stock car heat and doing teams racing online helped them immensely when it came to the real life thing? That game had such an impact, that you designed had such an impact on these guys' driving skills in real life.
Yeah, it's pretty humbling, to be honest, because right in the beginning, that was never the intention of it. The intention of it way back when was just to have a stock car game and have fun. It wasn't ever really to be a simulator type thing, but as the years have gone by and that kind of thing, and it's growing into that, yeah, no, it's pretty cool to see the caliber, you know, these drivers and how they go in real life, and how they've progressed from, you know, from this is, yeah, no, it's pretty cool.
Well, I mean, for some people that don't know out there, some of the names that have said that the online world helped them. What do you got? You got Keegan Levine, Ethan Levine, Gav Tunifar said it as well. I think Jaden Ward, and then Chev Tunifar. I mean, these guys are all top blockers and racers, and when it comes to teams racing, have all said that playing stock car heat helped them so. And Alan Veen said to us, Aikens, you know, that he reckons the best thing that ever for his boys to learn teams racing was racing stock car heat. So, I mean, that's quite an accomplishment in itself, I think, of what product you've produced. And when you think now to what the product is today, mate, you imagine how much better it would make. You know, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. I mean, especially with what we've got now in RF2 and the ability to run VR. You know, like for the first time in any form of stock car video game, we've got that capability now of running in VR, and it literally is the closest thing to being able to be being out on the track. So, yeah, I mean, the guys that have tried it in VR and have and that kind of thing, they all love it, and they just can't believe sort of, you know, how far it's come from those days. So. Yeah,
well, the beauty of it is come next season, people, with the Kokpit media out and about, and me and my new wagon, we're probably going to have a VR experience for you guys to try and see how much and what this man has created and how bloody good it really is. So hopefully next season when we're at the tracks, Kins, and do it, we might be able to let people sit back and have a go and try it out and see just how close and how great to the real thing it is. I mean, obviously it's never going to be as good as a real thing because I suppose nothing beats getting behind a real race car, does it?
Well, you know, I can stand in front of them and throw dirt at them while they're driving. I can stand and throw some dirt at them, make them pull tear-offs, make it realistic. I'll stand here.
And if they hit the wall, we can hit them in the side of a head with a pillow, Kins.
Shake that bloody thing. And then I'll grab a hose and spray it off. It's rained off now. There you go. See ya.
I think we'd have more people signing up to do that than actually racing.
Daniel Curran Devil, Jaden was one of the first NZ champions at heats, if he remembers rightly. So, yeah, it's a lot less more pain. You're right, Loz. Just push the escape button and you just get out of it. But
a pain in the body and the pocket less, eh?
Well, that's it. Just that, you know, you get that enjoyment of racing and you know, winding somebody off and that, and yeah, you just hit escape. You don't have to pay for any damage. You don't have to go to the hospital or anything like that. So.
Well, I think what I'd be looking forward to more, I think, next year is if we got it at the track like that, is trying to get some of the old heads that are still racing to jump on this and have a go. You know, we'll have to drag old Pete in there, Peter Ease in there when we get at the track and say here, and we'll film that live for everyone to see. See how he goes in the sim world. I can guarantee he probably goes a hell of a lot better in the real world than he will in the sim world, though. But it'd be nice to see some of those older guys that are still racing to have a go at the sim side of it, you know, or even drivers that have never had a go at sim racing, you know. And that'd be the beauty of it, I think, is to get that out there and just let people see just what it's all about. Because sometimes I think they look at us and go, "Oh, you race on a computer," you know. But it gets intense, doesn't it? Sometimes when you're racing, like you're in a runoff or something, your heart's racing, and it's just a bloody game, for goodness sakes. And you're sweating, and oh mate, yeah, I love it. I mean, I haven't raced as much as you guys have lately because I've been doing everything else, but man, it's good fun.
I know it gets intense way back in the day. I remember a guy wanted to meet up with another guy and have a bit of a punch up over it. You know, I remember that over a bloody game. Hey,
Yeah.
you know what?
No, there's been a few of those over the years. Yeah.
So yeah, it's not much different to the good old days, you know. And I think of Laura Rumney and all those days, and the pits one ever fisticuffs, you know.
Yeah.
But hey, like I say,
Or
it's
Doug Holmes and Palmy, I remember. My people
yeah.
probably remember Doug Holmes. He was a bloody nutter too.
But you know, hey, it's at a stage where IT seems to be a big thing of the world these days, the way the world's evolved with technology in your workplace, let alone, you know, and just how that's come along. It's no different to what Dirt spoke about with the game back in the day. It's just part of development and progressing. And look, who knows what the next 10 years may look like? We just don't know. In his mind, he would never have thought the game would have developed like it is. It's as close as you're going to get to the real thing, you know. So you can jump in there. Here's a fact, actually. I've got a thing that hooks onto my set. It's called a butt kicker. And every time I get hit, it goes like this, you know. It vibrates. And I tell you what, even when I watch some other movies, it vibrates. No, I'm just joking. But it's like a real
we've heard those stories. Haven't we?
I know. In VR. Oh, shit. That's another story. That's another show. That's
this is a
an
bloody
RA
shit night.
Yeah.
Shits and giggles.
But going back to the series that we've got starting up soon, what's that, the 11th of June? Is it 11th of June is our opening weekend? We haven't got the format exactly set at this moment, but we're going to have real drivers as well as our guys. We've got a huge influx.
Yeah.
I'll just say now, it looks like we might even have a Charlie Swarter jumping on to race with us. There's a high possibility for those that are interested in watching the series.
You went ahead and name dropped.
I had to, mate. But... You know, I just want to, you know, and it's a credit to the game and to the people, you know, like when I look back at this season gone, I mean, the drivers this season, real drivers, have just been outstanding, haven't they? I mean, the support they've given us, turning up for our show in the season, taking the time out of their day, you know, it's and now they all want to be a part of this E-Series as well. I mean, I think our New Zealand drivers this year are all been outstanding, and the support they've shown us is very humbling, and I love it. And even tonight, like Pete's taking time out of his night to come join us for Shed Night and talk a bit of shit with us, you know, and the support that they gave for our auction. And mate, I just like a big thanks to all the drivers out there this season. You're all awesome and stand-up guys, a lot of yous, because you know, you don't have to come on the show. You don't have to talk to us in the pitch. You don't have to talk to us out in this middle. But you did, and we can't thank you enough for your support and do it. And we hope to bring you to the public eye and to your fans just as much next year as well. So that's just what I'd get that off my chest too, Kins.
100%, mate. 100%. Like as you say, you know, they didn't have to sort of like line up at scrutineering and come talk to us and whatnot at the New Zealands and that. But yeah, like everybody's just been really forthcoming, and then as you say with the recent auction and you know, the results that came out of that, and what we managed to raise, and just bloody awesome. So yeah, no, like just reiterate that, you know, thanks guys for everything. You know, it's bloody awesome.
I remember them following us while he was running around organising. They were following us with you and your camera and me with the mic, and it was really cool, bro. And I know next week's guest, you'll be excited to see us catch up with Rodney Wood, everyone. So I let it out the bag that street stock was super stock, and then or A grade back in the day, sprint car and lot going on Bay Park. So I know you're a big Rodney Wood fan, like many out there, and we'll be looking forward to that, eh? So yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. Definitely one of the true legends of the sport, and you know, in multi-classes as well. You know, not just the ones. So,
yeah,
no, that's going to be a good show for sure.
All right. Cheers, bro. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, we appreciate that, Dirt, and we can't wait for this series, mate. And I'm sure the drivers that are gonna join us can't wait too for this this epic series that's coming. And thanks to Capital RC, Keegan Levine is our main sponsor for the series.
Coming on board.
And we've got a sponsor now, is all I'm going to say, for a big NZ championship I've organised. So there's more to come and to be announced.
Yeah.
So stay tuned, people.
We are at that stage where, like, you know, things are in motion, but it's not quite completely finalised.
Yeah.
As you alluded to before, the format of things, and we've got the rough sort of concept for it. And at this stage, we're looking like we're probably going to have 30 car fields competing every week. So yeah, a good third of the field is going to be made up of real drivers for this series, if not maybe a little bit more. And maybe a few other, surprise appearances throughout the rest of the season as well. So, for some guys that don't have their own sim rig and that, they've if they live close by to Booker or other members, they may have that opportunity. So, it's shaping up to be a good series and something I think. Or hopefully, run smooth, and we can make it an annual thing and make it even better every time.
Exactly, mate.
100%.
Exactly. Well, awesome, Dirt. Thanks for joining us tonight, mate. We appreciate you coming to our shed night, and we appreciate your help when you're on the camera with us. And we look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks when we go to the Huntley prize giving.
Yep,
hey, just quickly before you do disappear, mate, how many actual man hours have gone into this game? Wayne Otton's just asking. Mate, these hundreds, I'll
just bring something up on my screen here. So this will give you some insight. Where are we? So on R Factor 2 itself, just the sim that we're using now, I've put in 7,957 hours on that sim.
Just on that.
And that's just so Wayne, that's not counting previous
R
Factor 1, stock car heat, and what was that one?
DTRC.
DTRC. So you're probably thinking all up, he might be at 20,000 hours. So if you work that out in days.
It'd be well over that, Books.
Yeah.
To be fair, the DTRC stuff I released in about 2000. So we're 23 years later now. So
so there you go, Wayne.
Wow.
it's not a 5-minute job to bring this. And Wayne, when we see you at Speedway next year, mate, you can have a go.
Get involved.
Yeah,
we'll get Tracy on the other wheel too. She can roll you over, Wayne. There you go.
Yeah, well, we are going to have a VR headset to do that because our friends at Pollux have decided that they're going to sponsor us a VR headset to have some time trials and get people at the track. So that's pretty cool. So, but again, mate, I look forward to this series, and I look forward to catching up in a couple of weeks' time too, brother. So, cheers, man.
Yep. No, cheers, boys. Good as gold.
Cheers, bro. Thank you.
And like everybody else has said, cheers for what you guys do as well, and bring to the sport in different facets. So cheers, boys.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks, mate. Here we go. That's the man that helps us out with the camera when we're doing our Kokpit media stuff.
Hey?
Yeah, so he's the guy that's behind the camera for those who have just jumped in and asking a bit about him. He's the guy that you'll see behind doing the camera work with us. And absolute legend, thank you for your goodness and everything like that. So a lot of bloody hours. Talking a lot of hours, this guy's always in his workshed. He spends like thousands of hours. If we had 1,000 hours a day, he would bloody do it. Pete Rees. Hey, Pete.
Hey, you guys.
Good, mate.
Yeah, good, mate. Bloody cold down there, is it?
Oh, I had the heater on, but it was a bit loud, so I turned it off.
Sacrifices we make, eh?
Mate, you would have heard us talking to Scotty Fitz beforehand, racing over there in Australia, and we could see you nodding your head with a few things he was saying. You would know a bit about how things are developed over there, obviously, and just good to have a Kiwi boy sitting there, with the 1Q on there, defending a title this weekend. Just good to see stock cars making a bit of a mark into the Aussie sport over there, eh?
Oh, it's actually quite interesting listening to him, because we've been sending a bit of stuff over for Justin Burr, another Kiwi over there. He used to pit crew for Dave Evans down here. And he is like that Scotty guy, trying to get more New Zealand car type thing into Australia, and he's building 3 or 4, I believe. So they probably know each other over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is interesting listening to, but I mean, Scotty's he comes from a pretty good racing history family too. I mean, old Noel Phipps, his old man, was pretty good in his day too on the old Speedway track. So another Speedway family moving forward, you know.
JPS
You
racing
know,
cars.
very interesting listening to him.
Justin
Oh,
has
look,
4 cars. Oh, yeah,
it's
Scotty's just replied. Justin has 4 cars to build. In the build, sorry, 4 cars he's building.
Yeah, his brother actually spent a bit of time here measuring up our cars, so he's trying to get what we do over there.
Yeah.
And Justin was over here about a month ago and getting bits and pieces and axles, and so he's really trying to implement what we do over there, which would be good for their class.
Yeah, mate, hard out.
Oh, so what do we want to see in the end? Do you want to see another Rees Hartley package in Australia, or take over there as well?
Why not?
Hey,
Why not?
Hey?
So
I
next
reckon.
time we go over, we'll have a real car to race.
Have you actually done any laps over there, Pete?
Yeah, I spent 11 days over there. We did Archerfield. We did 3 tracks, I think. It was a few years ago. And a lot of the guys over there are Kiwi guys. So real welcoming. And like that, Scotty said, the tracks are real banked. And the first time I raced on a bank track until we go to Gisborne. Very similar to Gisborne. So, and the weather was great, although we had a downpour at one of the meetings, and I needed my gumboots. Back then it was like a real red clay.
Yeah.
No, it was good experience over there.
Oh, awesome. So
Hey, mate, let's go back a couple of weeks to Huntley with the Apollo teams, wrapping up over there. Huntley, good to see 2 Gisborne teams out there, mate, and those young fellas giving it their all as well in the development team.
Yeah, that was a step forward for Gisborne and those young fellas. Been trying to do it for a couple of years now, so really stoked to pull it off for those guys. And they did well, almost better than us, so it was good to see.
Yeah. Shit, there was some decent hits and some damage in that night, wasn't there?
Yeah, I got a good one from Brody James.
Oh, mate. We jumped up, then we could. Holy shit! That was a.
I didn't actually realise it until I didn't realise it until I saw the video how good it was. It didn't feel much in the car, but it was a decent one. And then Cody Mack, he reckons he gave me a big one, but I can't even remember that one.
Yeah.
Man, it was a good night. But how about the Friday night? That was a pretty good night too, wasn't it? The old auction and everything went really well.
It did. It went real good actually. And I was speaking to Nicole Street today, Pete's Go Sideways partner, and I lost you. Yeah, so we're ready to present her that when you guys are ready to come down to the live stream and that. So you probably need to give us a call tomorrow. We can sort that out.
Yeah, mate, I'll give you a ring tomorrow. It'll be me. I don't think KINSER's going to come away. It'll be just me coming through. But I got to talk to Tom. I see Thomas is watching now, so I got to talk to Thomas anyway. Yeah. So because he's coming through too, isn't he, Pete, for that? So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Actually presenting that, filming that, and getting you guys to present that to her. So that's real awesome. So how would you rate this season for yourself, mate?
Oh, like every other year, we've had a great year. Result-wise, at New Zealand's, we couldn't top that. Lots of teams racing. Put the weather aside, we've had a good year. We've done 27 meetings. I think 4 or 5 of those were rain-offs, so they weren't actually meetings. The new cars were great. I can't complain. It's been a great year. A lot of travel this year. A lot more next year.
Yeah. So, it's good. You must be proud of the boys this year. Shit, what they've achieved as well, isn't it? I mean, including Josh as well. I mean, I suppose you call Josh your other son too, do you now? He's been part of the family for a while now.
Yeah, he's been good for us for a while, yeah. But results aside, it was a good year to, we met a lot of people, met those crazy Slater boys of the Pollocks. I travelled up to Tauranga and stayed there a night. That was an education. We got over to Gisborne. we ticked off our criteria to keep the super stocks in Gisborne, and that was hard work because I mean it's a long way to Gisborne at the moment. Although that road's open now, so
Yeah, I see that the other day.
We ticked off some good stuff this year and improved our cars some more and met some good people and did that thing the other Friday night. That was a great night. That was. It almost looked like the Gisborne club rooms at one stage because both teams are in there and all of their supporters and pit crew. So it's a big old night. It was good.
It was good.
Yeah, it was a good night.
And I hope the next one we do, which it sounds like it's going to be a annual thing. I hope more teams turn up and support it because I think it'd be a great way to start that teams weekend, isn't it? Starting there on the Friday night and finishing it on the weekend with the teams race. And I think it just makes a great package for fans and drivers alike.
Yeah, a little bit more control from the drivers with drinking alcohol might be needed next time. It was a really good night. It just got the mood going for the next day.
Didn't you bid on the booby prize one? There was a young fan bidding for you for the big bloody booby prize thing.
Thomas has just put that up there. Pete, did you like your cardboard box, your $800?
Yeah, that's the alcohol problem. I went to a good cause, and I can't remember what I got. I think I got a squeezy ball, a stress ball, a cup warmer, and a
$20
and a free string from Chase.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, $20. Someone put $20. A free string from Chase as well with $800.
Mate, and to be honest too, the cutouts that you brought through and supplied, you know, when the guys were autographing them, they were going for big money, and then of course the drivers, they were popular, and then obviously the guys are putting up their wings after the end of that meeting. You know, they went for huge money. Except for Tracy's young boy got a good deal on one of the bloody things, little bugger. But
but how's that wing deal? When Box come over and said, "Can we put our wing up in any condition?" And I had to go and flatten mine.
Yeah, well, that's right.
I can't remember the sucker who bought that, but he's got it.
Yeah.
And you ended up with Kerry's, didn't you, as well? Didn't you buy Kerry's ring?
Yeah, and that's in mint condition. I'm going to run that next year.
Kerry was telling us that out in the bloody pits. He was gutted about it. He was gutted, yes. And I think Tracy's young fella from out of mini stocks got Todd Hemingway's wing, I think it was one of the 66 or the 19, one of those ones. Got it for next to nothing, but he was stoked. Yes, they were happiest. So off season, Pete, no doubt just busy building race cars.
Yeah, well, as of the day after Huntley, we just started making a plan, Asher and myself, and we had a few orders cemented, and a lot of people are working out now. The orders have got a little bit bigger than we wanted, but we're just going to work hard 6 days a week, probably 7 myself, and try and sort it out.
Are you looking to bring any staff on as extra to help, or are you just going to try and do it alone with yourself and Asher?
Oh, staff's real hard to get out here. I mean, we're too far out of town, and staff's hard work anyways, you know. So we'll plod along. I've got a guy that comes and does the welding, part-time guy. We might look at others like that. Just night work or weekend work. See how we go.
And when's the final planning or stuff you're looking at bringing out for the Rees Tour, mate? When's the dates, and how far away do you think you are before you'll be able to release the exact dates and tracks and stuff?
Well, now that the dates are out for the Speedway titles and stuff, because we always work around that, it's a waste of time working against those dates. So I'm going to conference, we'll take the dates of conference, give them to the promoters of clubs down there, and hopefully we can make it work. I've talked to a couple of the clubs at the moment, and like the finals cemented in with Steve at Christchurch. So, if we can't make it work for all of them, we'll have to miss some, but early March we'll get down south and do some racing.
Awesome, mate. Well, pretty cool, and it's cool bloody night. What else we got? Books, heats going on, so off season's all pretty well done. All the tracks are wrapped up this bloody
everyone's
season.
wrapped up, and it's I just thought we'd with our shed night and get Pete to have a chat about a few things and how his season tracked and what's in for the next season. So, are you only going to race one class next year? Because you wanted to go back to 2 classes, didn't you, at one stage there, Pete? Is that right, or am I wrong in that?
No, we were going to build 3 stock cars last year. Realistically, we were dreamers. But one of those stock cars is actually getting built now. It's kind of pre-sold. And each of us will hop in it at some track sometime next year just to get all the bugs sorted out before we pass it on. So there is one getting built. I'm doing a new car. I'm keeping my old car. The boys are keeping their current cars. Josh is keeping his current car because he won that chassis over in Gisborne a few months ago.
Yeah.
And we've got a trial engine that will be ready this year, so I'm going to build a car around that for us to use, or maybe the Poms want to use when they come over. We've got a bit going on, and plus at the moment there's about 23 customers for new builds.
Wow.
And we normally get 30 to 40 rebuilds in the off season, so we're going to be busy.
So is this trial engine, is that a new engine altogether, or is it a trial engine from Hartley that he's developed, or what is that? What's that? What's involved with that?
Well, similar to what Gav's been doing with the BMW, it's the same motor actually. Brian did one 3 or 4 years ago for Ian Clayworth down South Island, and it's just an extension of that. We found a couple of these engines are quite hard to get. We found a couple through Trevor and Gisborne, BMW Madman, who got me into a BMW basically, and it's just another option with similar power, hopefully to our Nissans.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, very cool. Well, that's very
so
cool.
you mentioned the Ponds might come over and have a bit of a drive on one of the cars here, Pete. What about plans? Is there anything? I see Mark Goodman's put it here. Is a possibility to go to the UK and race over there? Is anything being communicated there for you?
We've been officially asked by Sonia, myself, the boys. We're going to turn it down this year. I mean, it's just the wrong year for us. Ethan's busy. We're busy. But we do want to get out there at some stage. And I believe there's about 4 openings a season now for the New Zealand drivers. So we'll keep an open mind. And I'd like to go as all together. When I went on my own, it was a little bit out of my depth, to be fair. So we'll keep that. But the Poms are allowed back here now, as we saw this year. And, Slater boys looked after them. So if there's cars floating around and we can do lease deals and stuff, you never write that off because it helps you in the long run when you get over there to get in their cars.
Yeah. But speaking of the Slater boys, they've been good for the sport this year, haven't they? Thomas and his brother and that, and the Pollocks, I think that's made a big difference.
Oh, extremely good. Really good for Huntley. Good for the sport on the whole. Good for Rees race cars because they run my cars. They're actually getting new cars, so we've got to sell out their old cars to help assist the new cars. So watch your space. There'll be a few cars coming up on the net, or a few more than there are at the moment.
Yeah, most of the drivers who've spoken that currently race the Rees cars spoken about getting a new one. They booked, some of the guys
we say that they've all said to us.
What
one person who was that said to us? Oh, it's good. If I buy a Rees race car on the Saturday night, I can finish up, drop it off to Pete, and pick it up the next week and just go racing. He said, so he was pretty happy with your service, mate.
Or something. They're busy guys and they're just down the road. So if they get damaged, we tend to fix it for them. I mean, the Pollock. Thomas has had a big change in his weight. I can't really call it a problem, but so he needs a new car because it's a whole different fit, and you've got to be comfortable. And those guys have had a taste of it now, and I think they just want to enjoy the racing, and to enjoy the racing you've got to have fast, comfortable cars. So we'll sort them out with that deal, and we'll move their old ones on.
But they're old ones, they're fast cars. I mean, that Frankie Wayman and Thomas's car, I mean, that thing was hauling, took a beating, and kept going, and still made third on the bloody podium. Was it third, Frankie?
Oh, yeah, he got third next to me.
Yeah. So, I mean, that just shows you how strong those cars are, man. Shit.
Oh, he's been racing for 40-odd years. I mean, we'll get those pilots up to that level in the next couple of 3 years, hopefully. But, yeah, that nothing wrong with those cars.
No.
Good engines, good cars. Only 3 or 4 years old, those cars.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if someone to buy one of those, they're going to get themselves a bloody good car, you know? Aren't they? I mean, it's, yeah. I saw that car go. I thought, shit, that boy. Frankie can drive, but you still got to have the right car on you to be able to produce that sort of, you know, and a car that took that much beating to be able to keep going. That's a good race car.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did make quite a good mess of it. That we tied it up the week after, so horse could run it at the New Zealand's. But
Yeah.
I mean, Frankie, he's kind of I kind of know him halfway well, and he's quite a hold backer guy. But he actually gave us some good words about the cars and that, which is good from a guy like him. You know, someone I've looked up to after years. So if he likes them and they're easy to drive like that, you know, it'll help us move them on, and he'll come back next year and hopefully do more deals to get in the cars again.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
He sounds like he's keen ears to come back. He can't wait, actually. Same with young Charlie Swarter's keen to come. Actually, the whole bloody lot of that Lions team are keen to come back.
Yeah, I think that was it was interesting to talk to them, actually. When we spoke to them on their interview in the teams build up, Pete, they thought that the hits felt bigger in over there than they do here.
Yeah, probably because they've got this flat chassis thing, and they don't absorb the hits as well as a space frame over here. Plus, their walls are mainly steel, and steel doesn't absorb or take it like the concrete does here. Yeah, I've had a hit over there that I had a 27-minute sleep over there. I mean,
shit.
They're probably right, and their seating positions way different to ours. Like they're more laid back, like a jet sprint boat.
Oh.
And so you feel a frontal impact or a rearward impact. Yeah, whole different deal. Like their contact's way less than us, but when it's contact, you're right. It does. You do feel it more over there.
Interesting, eh? Because I mean, shit, that Swarter, he got. Who was it? Was it Ethan that put that hit on? I said to you, hey, Kins, I said, shit, you felt that, because I tell you what, that car control that your son has, that Ethan has, that full noise to go from sideways to straight to just nail someone and push them out. It blows my mind. His car control. I mean, I haven't seen many people that can be halfway through a slide and just somehow flick, straight, bang, and that person is dispatched. You know.
Yeah, it is impressive to watch, and I've been lucky enough, well, not so lucky, but I've been on infield watching him this year. I watched him in the final at Huntley the other day in my car and making a mess of that, and that's why it's still in the trailer. I'm too scared to bring it
out. Man, he can hit that boy. It just blows me away how quickly he can get that car to turn and at full pace and point it exactly where he wants it to go. It really does. I'm actually very, very impressed by it. It blows me away. I notice things like that more, I think, than most things on the track. Like when I see someone's car control like that, where a lot of fans will be looking, oh, look at that hit, and don't actually see how much is involved to make that hit work like it works, I mean, I remember Regan O'Brien saying he's never been hit so hard as he has by Ethan Reeves.
I've heard a few drivers say that, actually. Him and Asher, they're two different hitters, though. I mean, Asher just shuts his eyes and keeps his foot on the gas, but I think Ethan's a little bit more controllable. But it is good to watch, and I'm actually glad I'm on their guy's side. So.
Although those young boys at the Gisborne development team look like they're going to be big hitters too, mate, don't they?
Well, at the end of the day, it's what they're getting trained to do, and they come and they asked us, and we sat in. There was 2 teams in our team talk all night over there, and we sat and we talked, and it was actually a real good environment. And then, afterwards, those guys come up and go, man, we learnt heaps in this one night.
Yeah.
So that's a Giant future. We probably better think of a name for them next year instead of the development name, because it's too long a word to spell and too hard to say.
I'll tell you what, it was good to see Akins. Like, sometimes you see same teams come up, or families or close, but the hits aren't that big, but there was no holding back between the 2 teams. This is how it's going to be, and I must say that was pretty impressive to watch, to see there was nothing given. It was all left on the track between the 2 Gizzy teams, and that's what you want to see as a fan in the seat, eh?
Oh, how I've raced against the boys, back in the day, Panthers versus Mustangs, first and second runoff, and everyone thought that was going to be a rig up, but Jack was in there, Scotty was in there, Peter B, myself, and Asher and that on the other team, and there was no rig up. It was full on, full noise, and that's exactly what we told the Gisborne development team. Just like we would dish it out to them. To be fair, I think they got me harder than I got them.
Mate, it was because we were up the top, and what we turned 3, and looking straight down, and I just thought, bloody hell. I hadn't seen a hit like that in years, something like that, because, I mean, you were nowhere near the wall, but you still ended up on your bloody roof.
Yeah, I've got to say, testimony to my roll cage. I mean, that's 3 times that car's been over, and 2 of them have been pretty big rolls. The one in Palmer, the under the grandstand. Josh's one was more of a fallover, but after watching the video, I even inspected my own cage, not even marked. So pretty happy with the new cages we're doing, the new pipe. It's actually in the rule book now, so hopefully guys that are doing these cages and that are learning from that. And if you want to be a little bit safer, look into that, because it really works.
We got to it's all piling in there, Kins. We got
I can see it all.
Gizzy Gronks, Nati Perot Pirates,
Gizzy Grizzlies, Gizzy Assassins,
Grizzy Growlers. The fans are helping you, Pete. They're into it.
It's a woman's name, Growlers.
I didn't want to say that.
I wasn't quick enough with my beep button then.
Junior
that's
Giants.
awesome, mate. I hope the off season goes well for you guys with your builds. Have you got any development thoughts in the pipeline this year, mate? Because I remember we spoke to your boys a couple of times, and they've said every season Dad turns up with something new to try. And have you got something in your mind to develop a bit further for next season's cars, or are you just sort of happy where they are at the moment?
Oh no, I'll never stop trying things. Currently the cars are jigged up. We're doing it last 2 years. I have changed them a little bit in the last 2 days. We've got 3 new ones started here on the floor. The Pollock, the Slater Boys ones are started. They are getting my thoughts, but the footprint's the same. The suspension is going to be the same as what we had this year. The one that I do for myself, that might be a little bit different, but not much, just a little bit. So I've had a couple of sleepless nights, as the boys reckon I don't sleep at all. So I'm pretty comfortable with where we're going with the new cars. If we do keep them the same, we'll get stagnant. So they're definitely going to have little changes.
Oh, yeah, very cool, mate. Very cool.
Some good names still coming on through. Everyone's
yeah,
talking about you, Pete. Calling Pete's preschoolers, Pete's pupils, Junior Giants. So the list just goes on, but I don't want to go back to that one.
Giants,
the Junior Giants.
Junior Giants, I like that.
Yeah.
Junior
Giants.
That might be
Actually,
it.
Little
quite a good
Giants,
one.
maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Little
Yeah, I like
Giants,
that.
yeah. Who the hell said that one? Where did it go?
Maybe we should
Scott
hold a
Honeybone.
competition, Pete, and let people enter to give us do a logo and a thing up and give them a cutout or something. Do a competition at some stage or something.
Brady's
That
Brawlers.
might be a plan. We might have to we'll sit down and think about something. Involve the
Yeah,
community.
we'll go over to Gisborne's prize giving in June, and we'll sit down as a team, a couple of teams, and we'll probably talk about that.
Yeah,
Have a
have some
debrief. We had a
fun.
good debrief with Huntley.
Yeah, I went to come talk to you fellas before we left to say see you later, but you're on a debrief, and then I came back and you were gone. So
Gone.
Oh, I got pretty hectic. We drove home that night.
I figured you
got
had.
home at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the way it is.
Yeah.
All right, Pete, mate.
Okay.
Well, we better let you go. Go by your head again, and like the boy said, you're not going back to sleep, mate. You must carry on doing some bloody work or something like that, eh?
No. I'll go inside and see the girls, and I'm on babysitting duties this week. So
Oh,
yeah,
well, I'll give you a ring tomorrow, mate, and we'll nut out this trip to go and see Tracy, and we'll work it out.
yeah, that'd be cool. Yep. She said she couldn't. Oh, I can't remember exact words, but in the text, but she couldn't accept it herself. So she's going to get the young fella that spoke at the funeral to accept it because she wouldn't be able to stop crying.
Oh,
Fair enough.
fair enough. As long as he gets there, that's all good, eh, mate? So we're
Very
happy to-
grateful and surprised. She's got all about it. To be fair.
Oh yeah, I'm glad it's there, and we were privileged, Aikens, and glad to be a part of the whole thing with Thomas and yourself organising this whole thing. So huge thanks to Thomas Slater, who it was his brainchild right from the start, you know, and we just sort of rolled with it as he wanted us to, and it couldn't have been any better. The whole night, the whole everything, it couldn't have gone any better. So
He doesn't come up with many brainchilds, but he pulled that one off.
Yeah.
He's going to be here when we do it. We've got a big check made up for it, and then they can just deposit it for the real money for the bank. So
yeah.
very
I'll give you
cool.
a ring tomorrow, and I'll give Thomas a ring too, and we'll see what we can organise. Because I suppose the biggest thing is getting. I mean, I'm free at any time. It's just to be making sure Thomas can get the time to come down and do it as well. So, but thanks for your time tonight,
Yeah.
Pete. We appreciate you coming on, having a quick chat to us on our shed night tonight. It was it's all a bit low key tonight, and just have a bit of fun, a few laughs, and talk some speedway. But yeah, thanks for coming on, mate.
No, thank you guys for asking me and inviting me. And how come I'm the only one in the shed?
Now listen, if you actually watch the stream, me and Kins are in a shed.
Yeah. We're actually in the make-believe shed, but that's all good. Something we'll get you to do, Pete, one time, and Booker gets his sim stuff going. We'll get you to have a bit of a jam on that. You would have heard us talking to do NZ just before, so yeah, we'll get you to have a bit of a jam around on that, mate.
Yeah, I have a go, but I wouldn't expect the world. I've never followed that's the gaming and stuff like that.
I think that there'll be a lot of guys that are very good on their real cars that might struggle when it comes to the sim side of it sometimes. So yeah, it's a little bit different when you can't feel it, you know. So yeah.
Yeah, well, I can still feel Huntley, and that was 2 weeks ago.
All right, Pete. Hey, take care, mate.
Hey,
I'll let you
mate.
get back to your babysitting. Cheers, Pete.
All good. See you later.
Thanks,
See you
mate.
later, mate. See ya.
Well, there you go,
Oh, there
people.
we go.
That's our shed night. But that was good. Eh? Pete had some interesting stuff to say there, mate. Again, of course, with different things, and interesting that he was quite interested in listening to old Scotty Phipps about what's happening in Australia too. Eh? It's
Well, Well, it's good, and the good thing and we didn't want to go through the Speedway New Zealand type of issue at the moment. We've seen this all over the social media this afternoon. Just wasn't the time or the place to really get Pete's ideas or suggestion or his thoughts on this as well. So, it's just one of those things. We just want to have a shed night, have a laugh, have some fun, promote our upcoming E-Series June the 11th, and just talk with Scotty Phipps as well, who's defending his title this coming weekend. And yeah, cheers, Noel. It was good fun. Brian, thanks, Brian. And we'll do some more of these fun things as well and a few more shed nights. As I mentioned throughout the show, our guest is locally born from where I am, went to our local school here in Pidal. Family still live here, and of course, race street stocks. New Zealand 1NZ back in the day too, from memory. Never quite got there in the A grade and the super stock. And also sprint car. He's won the 1NZ multiple times, and everyone knows he does a lot of work around Bay Park. And to give us the update why he's joining us on Wednesday is because the current situation with Bay Park is going to the council the day before Rodney joins us next Wednesday. So Rodney Wood is going to be our special guest on next Wednesday's show. So looking forward to that. Everyone keep warm out there. Take care and enjoy yourselves. Be safe. And, not that far away. What is it? June, July, August, 5-6 months. Next Speedway season will be around. Cheers, Madu.
Yeah. Okay, guys, thank you. Be safe, and we'll see you all next Wednesday night for another great show, hopefully. Thank you.
Will do, mate. Cheers, everyone. Bye-bye. Welcome along, everyone. What was it like, that experience, jumping into your first race?
It's been my life ever since I can remember.
Look, it really was unbelievable.
I think it's awesome.
Just go out there and give it your all every time. And
When you're young and you get in your old man super stock and you wreck it, I mean, it's pretty cool.
Craig Booker with the big smile. He is the voice that's behind what you get to hear every Sunday night.
Give it the hoot, Nanny. Look at that field. Doesn't it look fantastic?